Chris, welcome to the Beyond Technology podcast. Thanks for joining me today.
Happy to be here.
Let's dive right into it. Tell me about your company. What's the name of it? What do you do? How did you get into it?
Which company?
Your main one.
The main one, okay.
The one you love the most.
Oh, no, now you're asking me to choose between my children. Literally, some of my children are involved in the businesses. No, the big one is Strategic Traction. It's ultimately a firm that helps companies implement EOS, a set of tools to help grow your business. I wrote a book under that company and do a little speaking, but most of it's working with companies to help them grow.
Okay, cool. Tell me about your book. What's that about?
Oh, Relentless AF, an entrepreneur's disaster to success story. Wrote that, published it 3 years ago almost now. And just, I guess I earned all these gray hairs and wanted to write a book and share my journey, and that it's okay when stuff goes wrong and sideways, it can become the most incredible gift. And so I wanted to share that experience and write about it. And
cool. And you wrote that book before AI was a thing, so you did it the hard way.
I did do it the hard way. It was quite the process of, writing the book and getting the manuscript was about the halfway point. I thought that was like the finish line. Yeah. And then it's like, no, you literally just got warmed up.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Tell me about your other companies that, you've got going on with family and whatnot.
Yeah, so the first one is a company called Unlock Growth Partners, and it's co-founded it with a guy, Tyler Nicoletts, and we're implementing the tools in this Outgrow program, which helps customers, it helps increase sales and helps evolve kind of the customer journey and anyone involved in customer facing stuff. We help train them how to foster long-term relationships that builds, long-term relationships that stick, or you're really genuinely helping people. And then secondly, it does help grow sales because you just build better relationships, and who doesn't want to work with people that they like hanging out with and chatting that are helping them.
Cool. Yeah, business is people at the end of the day.
Business is people. And, I think some salespeople have forgotten how to sell a little bit, and they think, oh, I emailed them and they didn't respond. And it's like, well, no shit, it didn't work. And so what are the ways that you can help grow your sales in an effective way? And some people don't know how to have that conversation anymore. And not to mention that, by the way, our customer service, they're in sales. Anyone who's talking to customers is in sales. So, I came across that program a little while ago, and then Tyler was looking to grow his coaching, his experience in that. I'm like, hey, do you want to do this thing together? And off we went. So that was 8 months ago that we started that, 9 months ago. Yeah.
Nice and brand new.
Yeah.
Cool. That's great. And so where do you hope to be in 10 years? Let's talk about Strategic Traction. Where do you hope that is in 10 years?
Oh, I totally want to talk about the other business first, though. Is that
sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the other business is now called Simple Solve AI, and it's with my son. So he was 17 when we started this thing, and then we had to push pause while he was at school, in high school. And the reason I couldn't let this go, this is one of the funnest things I've ever done in my life, is to help my son start a business where I'm not active in the day-to-day, but I'm kind of coaching and guiding him and helping him, similar to Tyler's business.
Yeah.
And so, it's just helping to implement chatbots into companies.
Oh, cool.
How do we make it really easy to implement? Because, how do we make them suck a little less? Because chatbots can suck pretty bad.
Yeah.
And make it really, really affordable, so it becomes a no-brainer for companies to get this 24/7 support tool for customers or employee or your own team available. Yeah, so I had to jump back to that one.
Yeah, no worries, of course.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty cool business. And so with all three of those companies and then your book, what's 10 years look like for you?
10 years. So I love thinking about the future, and so I think about where I spend my energy in the future. And so I'm 52 now, so I'll be 62 in 10 years by my latest math anyways. Who maybe AI will change that.
Yeah.
I'll be
health tech.
Older or younger, I don't know. Things are changing pace these days. So 10 years, where I spend my energy will still be primarily spent helping companies with tools to grow their business. So the EOS stuff will be still the majority of where I'm spending my energy. But I'll have 3 or 4 different companies on the side of like where I'm coaching, advising, guiding, mentoring, and investing in those businesses to help them grow. But I won't be in the day-to-day in those the same as these other 2 companies.
Yeah.
And so spending time. So professionally, doing what I love, creating big impact, working with amazing people. Not that much different than I'm doing today, but I get to do a little more of that.
Cool.
The second part of that is the other things that I do. So right now I've got a goal of 165 days off a year. I work about 200. So I've been able to do that the last 4 years running now. And so that'll start to shift a little bit fewer days working and, you know, a little bit more time off away from the business. But, you know, my wife and I are 27 years married, so we'll be celebrating 37 years.
Nice.
My boys will be 32 and 28. Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
And so be involved as much as, you know, as we can be, as they'll have their own lives and doing things. And so, yeah, 10 years is an exciting picture ahead for me. And I'm a really active guy. You know, 10 years out, I'll be skiing lots in the winter, cross country and downhill. In the summer, I love riding and running and hiking, and playing outside is a big part of who I am and what I like to do. And I'll still be doing all sorts of fun stuff like that at 62. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, taking advantage.
Yeah.
That's great. And let's just jump right into some technology questions.
Sure.
What's the most recent thing that you've used technology to solve a problem for you?
So, the building processes in our company. So, used a ChatGPT to build a process for something new that we're developing. It's a referral partner process. So we want to, let's formalize that. And so I used Playbook Builder as an AI core processes, the way that we develop them in EOS. So very much our language and simplicity and cut to the chase kind of process way that we approach that stuff.
Cool.
And so I got it to develop the first draft for me, and then I took it from there and finished off, you know, the last kind of 10-20%.
Nice.
So that was probably the most recent one.
That's cool. What's the last time you used technology and it created a problem for you?
Trying to implement a CRM, and we got partway through the implementation of HubSpot, and the person who was helping us do it left the company.
Oh.
And so we're kind of like, oh wow, this is a lot of hours invested in that. And then we went to use it in an email campaign and it broke. And we're like, oh, now it's not working. So did we just blow a bunch of time and money and it's not across the finish line? So that's painful.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously getting those projects done correctly and
yeah,
depends on people for sure, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're trying to solve a problem, how do you decide whether to use people to solve it or technology to solve it?
Well, I rely a lot on the who's, not the how's. And so either it's a who solving or the technology, but I rely on the who's to solve the technology problems too.
Gotcha.
And so I'm a client of Always Beyond, and they've been a phenomenal resource. You guys have been a phenomenal resource of, hey, we're stuck on this thing. How do we solve this problem?
Got it.
And so I don't spend a lot of energy trying to figure out the how. I call the who's that know the how.
Got it. So you just try to delegate, figure out who needs to deal with that problem, and
yeah,
let them figure out how to use the technology.
Well, and if it's Lorna is my integrator / EA, and a lot of that stuff is under her purview. And she's like, well, how do you think we should solve this? I'm like, well, let's call somebody and get it executed and put together the way you need it done. So I'm not in charge of much for execution these days.
Got it.
Outside of client delivery.
Great spot to be.
It is good. This is why I smile so much.
There you go. You're happy for that reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously with like digital risk and AI being like a pretty big thing in business these days, how do you foster a culture? You've got a bunch of teams, you've got a few people on your core team of strategic traction. How do you foster a culture where, it's okay to experiment, it's okay to fail, and then also like AI is not going to replace us all, so don't worry about that. How do you lean into that?
I mean, I don't, my team, we don't spend a lot of effort worrying about that, and I don't think my team does either. One, Lorna's near retirement, so I think she's already like, how do we figure this out?
Got it.
But we're also in the type of business which requires a high human touch, and so we're constantly looking for ways to automate the things that are repeatable.
Okay.
And so we're looking for opportunities like that all the time so that we can spend more time worrying about the small details for the clients and taking care of that relationship so their experience is top notch.
Yeah.
And so if that's a technology aid, great if we can automate it. If we can't, then it frees us up to focus on that. So
cool. Yeah, no, for sure. Like focusing on the people that you're serving.
Yep.
And where you need to spend time doing that and then try to automate everything else.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
If I was to sum it up, cool.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it sounds like even though you've got folks that are older in your business, they're raring to automate things and make their life simpler so they can focus on what they enjoy.
Yep. Yeah, and we talk about the greater good, what's the best way to do something and how things are always going to change.
Yeah.
We try and embrace that change as much as possible. And so, the repeatable things don't tend to be the most exciting things anyways.
No.
So the more consistency we can create with those, and if that's technology that takes over some of that, we're quite happy to delegate that to a computer.
Yeah, for sure.
How we look at it.
It's going to get delegated eventually, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, and you work with a bunch of different companies, and so if you ever see them struggling in leadership and getting their teams to adopt technology or adopt change even, like how would you recommend they coach through that? How could they get through those roadblocks?
That can be an emotional one. And so if someone is having an emotional response to change, which is not uncommon, in fact, it tends to be pretty normal, quite frankly. Like, humans are wired to protect themselves. And so if they see technology as a threat, they're going to go into a state of security. How do they protect themselves? Or their team, or their entire company? Is it a threat? And so I think to come out of the emotional state is first off to recognize when it's going on. Like, they'll respond differently in the moment. Of like their back will get up. And so how I deal with that with my clients in the session room, like, hey, that response seems heightened compared to how you normally respond. Is there something else going on there? And just try and dig into that, like, where'd that come from? I know you fairly well at this point. That's a little different than normal. What's happening there? And making it safe for the team to talk about those vulnerable things of like, I'm scared of my job's going to get replaced, or this person that I really like in our company, like their job might get replaced by, whether it's technology or anything, right? It's the same conversation.
Yeah.
And so understanding and acknowledging the emotional state, and then, okay, well, I think, what is it, around 90 seconds, typically, if we acknowledge the emotion, then it can start to dissipate once it's been named.
Got it.
And so we try and name the emotion that's at play. And then can we do something about it? Where do we go from there? and recognize, is there a solve that makes sense for everybody? So
cool. Seems like a pretty unique way of digging into it and helping people overcome that emotion. Yeah.
I think it's part of the human experience, right? Is to deal with, I mean, all of us, guys have more than one feeling. I've learned over time. It's great. It's really figuring that out. But if we can't understand that, it's really difficult to move forward. I learned that about myself, and I learned, I get the privilege of helping leaders through this. And what's amazing is once that's figured out in a room, everyone in the room, once they've built a high trust team, they're actually all trying to help each other. Yeah. And so by getting vulnerable, it's usually a pretty scary moment for that person. Like, this is what I'm really afraid of. Yeah. And they share it. Then everyone goes, oh, dude, like, I'm here to help you. Yeah. And they, it'll sometimes break down in tears sometimes because they're like, I was scared how you guys were going to respond. And then they found out, oh, you've got my back. And then someone else, actually, I got something too, and then it starts to really build on a supportive environment that they can help each other overcome whatever it is they're dealing with.
Create more connection.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you think technology is making leadership easier or harder?
I think it's making communication worse in some ways because people are losing the human-to-human communication skills that they need to truly impact change. So they're struggling. I was talking to a coach in Saskatchewan, and she's like, people don't have the words. And so they actually need coaching with the words of how to have those. And both of us were surmising that it was likely technology and our use on technology.
Okay.
That we're better at sending a text than we are in having a hard conversation.
Yeah.
And so I'd say that's where an area maybe technology has made us a little worse. I think there's other areas where it's made us infinitely better. That process I spoke of that I built, that took me 20 minutes instead of 2 hours or longer. And I'm very confident that I didn't miss anything because the technology gave me a perspective that was bigger than my own experience. It was a wonderful thinking partner for me that allowed me a finished product that I'm not scared that I effed it up. Yeah, you missed something. And my team was pretty impressed too. They're like, holy, this looks amazing. I'm like, oh, thanks. Thanks, technology. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So there's one example on either side of that.
Yeah, I've actually found myself using voice notes more and sending those instead of a text message because I can get across more context. I can explain things. It's interesting with AI and voice notes. Like, I've kind of found that inherently I'm a bit lazy, especially when it's writing a text. I don't want a keyboard all day. Yeah. And so I'm lazy. So, I could text something and then it totally comes off wrong. So communication mistakes, right? And then people, they feel bad about it and they didn't understand what I meant. And then even, producing processes and documents and, I'll throw down the most important points, I think, but, for somebody else, the details that I missed might matter more, right? And I think you've highlighted that pretty well. So it's pretty interesting. We get to know ourselves better with AI, right?
I think so. It's quite fascinating. I think something else that I'm seeing with leaders struggling with technology is it's making it difficult to set boundaries. And so it's really easy to be constantly on and constantly be in touch. And so we go technology free in our session rooms because I want everybody, it's about a human-to-human, eye-to-eye contact. We're literally do I need to take your watch away? Because even our watches are there's a text, and we're having this meaningful, rich, vulnerable, emotional conversation, and oh yeah, my team just closed a new deal. Who cares? That's great, but it's a distraction. And so then we go home and we can get that same distraction on a regular basis. So I think it's what's happening is it's putting us in a state of elevated stress. So it's keeping our cortisol, it's keeping us on at all times. And so the leaders I see struggling with this aren't intentional with the disconnect time. And so their cortisol levels are high all the time. They're always responding. They're super fast on everything, but then they're losing the creativity and the disconnect time that allows them to do the really big, powerful work. And there's other leaders I'm seeing that are phenomenal, and they're like, no, like I turn my phone off when I get to home and I put it on the counter and I don't touch it till the morning.
Cool.
And I'm not that good.
Yeah, me neither.
But, so it's just creating a new learning that we have to do, that being on all the time is not healthy for us.
Yeah.
And so we're having to learn new skills. Is how do we, I think disconnecting is a skill that people are having to learn how to do better than the past.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting, even I'll put my computer in Do Not Disturb and it'll be just for that meeting and I'll forget I had it on all morning and I'll be like, oh, I really enjoyed all the work I did and I was focused. And then I realized it's because I had Do Not Disturb on and all these other little notifications were popping up and stressing me out, right? It's the human experience, so.
Yeah, our ability to stay focused is impacted negatively if we don't manage it appropriately.
Yeah. Very cool. One last question for you. What's your favorite app these days?
Favorite app? The first one that came to mind is Fiverr.
Okay.
Because we startup business, hardly any money, and we needed a very simple but clean looking logo for this new business. And the first one, it was called Gooder AI. We did all the searches we could find. Apparently we got a cease and desist letter. So my son got his first cease and desist letter before he turned 19. He's quite proud of that.
Perfect.
But we had to get the logo revised and new text put in with the new Simple Solve AI, which I'm pretty sure we're good on this name. But Fiverr, we were able to say, here's our original logo. We went back to the same designer. He gave us a quote, we sent him an image, and within 3 days we had the new logo with we've got letterhead, we got mastheads, we've got a graphic image for the front page of the website, and he was able to do that all within 3 days for a really reasonable cost for a startup. It was really helpful, and
cool.
It looks pretty pro.
Yeah.
So we're pretty happy with that. So
that's awesome.
There's my long story to my favorite app right now.
That's cool. So if people wanted to find you, find your book, find strategic traction, get some chatbots, get some sales help, how would they reach you? Where would they find you?
The hub for all of it for me is relentlesschrisjones.com.
Okay.
And that has links to the EOS work, to the simplesolve.ai, to the Unlock Growth Partners.
Cool.
That's the hub for all of it. Those are the three main ones.
Perfect. Well, thanks for coming on today. Great to have you.
Hey, thanks for having me on.